So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away.
Oh, yeah. It is Monday, 9:07 in the morning. Good morning. I'm Chip Matthews. You are who you are, and we are here on WYAB Radio talking what you want to talk about today. Give us a call, 601-879-0002. I talked to what was his name? What's that guy's name? He used to be on the show with me, Timothy Jenkins. He said, I'm going to come out there and be out there. Well, you got to get out of bed to be here. So he's getting up, getting out of bed, and we'll be coming on, I guess, probably tomorrow. He'll make it by tomorrow. We got to get on to Taylor, get Taylor out here. Taylor's been out putting out her signs. If you need a Taylor Turcotte sign and you're in Jackson in Ward 7, y'all let me know, and I will make sure you get one, or go to TaylorTurcotte.com and it's Taylor Turcotte on Facebook. I forgot what I'm going to be shot. But anyway, go to Taylor Turcotte on Facebook and send her a message, and she'll get you a sign, or you can just call me and I will make sure you get a sign in your yard. Because we got to get Taylor in, because you got to have good framework. Got to have a good base to work on. We're talking the other day about the bones of Jackson. Well, the bones of Jackson have osteoporosis, or whatever they call it, because the reality is the bones of Jackson, the infrastructure, the city is falling apart. And then, of course, the politicians you've put in office over the last few years, they have not helped the situation. You know, a lot of things have been going on to where Stokes seemed like the good light in Jackson. And I'm just going to say this. Over time, you get to where you deal with somebody. But look, the reality is all these people need to be replaced. They're not doing anything for you. Stokes, he comes out and he'll draw a line on it. But I mean, his culture of his signs look like the culture which Clay was talking about this morning. I mean, he tags it like it's his signs look like a tag, which some of you don't know what a tag is. Looks like was done with spray paint. It just says Stokes, and it's sort of like his area of Jackson. He's got it tagged to say, "This is my area. Don't you come in it. Don't you mess with me. Don't." And and that's one thing. And also you got to remember, Stokes ain't going to live forever. You're going to have to replace him at some time. So people need to step up and start looking into all of these things that need to happen to make their city or their area better. Because, once again, you can't clean up until you start cleaning up at your feet. That's the best way to attack it. A little bit at a time. Don't let it overwhelm you, And then if you become the mayor of that town, like Kim Wade's going to be, and like I'm going to be in Canton, you take the staff and you look at the staff and say, what do you do here? Well, let's assign you an area and you get it done. Then when they don't get it done, you say, excuse me, you don't have a job anymore. And we now have an opening, and we bring somebody in to do the job. That's the only way to do this. That's the only way to fix everything, is to get people out doing the job, doing the people's work. The mayor is the important cog in that. The mayor's job is to do what the aldermen have approved to be done. Okay? That it sounds weird, and the mayor's supposed to be in charge. The mayor can veto some of their stuff, but the reality is he's there to be the person between all the aldermen, and he'll tell them we need to get this, and this done. And then the aldermen look back at him, or the city councilman look back at him and said, no, we need to get this, and this done. And then the mayor has control over the staff of the city. And the staff is the public works department. It's the not in Jackson, not the water department, but the CMU. In Canton, it's CMU. You're in charge of talking to all these different things and being the liaison between everybody, between the people. You're the salesman for the city as the mayor. You are the salesman to go out and find more businesses to come to the community. And then you are the chief operating officer of the city. You've got to make sure everybody's doing their job and getting it done. Your buck stops here. That's what it is. So when you become mayor, you gotta be ready to do all those things. And like Kim has got the same situation I've got in Canton. We have a whole blighted area that has not been repaired. And we have a whole area, and he's got it in different wards. I've got it just in downtown. I have got to restore the square as the business place. And then once you fill that up, then you got to go work on the other areas. But the square is the diamond in a rough in central Mississippi. I mean, Brandon would die to have the square that we have in Canton. And I'm talking about the facility. Now, if we could take all their business, if we can get as many businesses, they've got clamoring for space in their downtown area. But our square is perfect for it. It's as good as the Renaissance, but it doesn't have any businesses in it. So all we got to do is go out and get businesses in it, and it's going to look like great, and everybody's going to show up, and it'll have parking lot full, people around the square walking. People come to Canton and go, wow, this is the greatest place in the world. Where has it been? Well, that place died 26 years ago. 26 years ago, there was stuff on the square. And then 26 years later, there's not. Or is it 36 years? It's been a while. It's been a while. But the reality is it's because the world had a racial makeover, and that it was good and it was bad, but it killed a lot of cities up and down 51, Pickens, all of that. But the next generation, the generation that's growing up now, they don't see things the way the 60 plus saw the world. Okay. And the 60 plus were on the cusp of figuring it out. But now they're in charge, and they realize, and you had 3 or 4 generations that just gave up. You had 3 or 4 generations that didn't fight to fix it. They just fought to accept it. And Republicans and Democrats alike, and I'm just going to say it, white folks gave up. Black folks got in charge. And that's not a bad thing. The problem was you didn't leave them any blueprints to run the city. A lot of these people didn't have the wherewithal and the thought process to know how the city ran and how it all ran. It was trial by error for 30 years. You throw something against the wall and see if you got it right. And that went on, and then the culture continued to not be able to produce what they needed to produce. And this is a reality throughout the state of Mississippi and throughout Benny Thompson's district, because you didn't want to be, as a white guy, you didn't want to be called racist because you didn't agree, but that's what you were called. And then the black guy, he said, you don't think I can do it, and don't want to listen to you anyway. So you had this cultural divide, and now we're past all that. Now the youth movement is looking at us, old geezers, as old geezers. We did it to ourselves. We're old geezers. We didn't adapt. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. Our generation is the cusp. But, it's sad that I feel like I'm the youth movement in Canton at 63. Just because I agree that we got to fix things. Things got to be together. Things have to be done to make the city a place where we all live together. We already live together in every neighborhood. You know, there's no exclusive neighborhood in Canton anymore. It used to be divided by the tracks, white side, black side. But that's all changed. Same in Jackson. Northeast Jackson used to be, you know, lily white. That's changed. The world has changed. And we have to get back involved as Mississippians and get back involved into the world. We've got to re-engage into the community. We both races working together is all we have left. And we have to do this to fix the city. There is no other way to do this. You know, I walk in here every day and have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And I had other things on my mind, but I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is where we're at. We've got to fix it. Both sides. We've got to make it better. We've got to have a place that we really want to live in. We got to wake up and put it back together. And where the thug life, I mean, we're going to have to go to a zero tolerance policy on crimes. And we're going to have to work the judges and everybody, because people should be punished for when they do something wrong, because that's the only way we can go back to being safe. It's sad when you go anywhere and you don't feel safe. The thought that you could be shot at any time when you get out of your car. I mean, they're shooting in Jackson, they're shooting in Vicksburg, they're shooting everywhere. We have got to get a hold of this. And the only way to do it is, you shoot a gun, we need to put you in jail. And we need to put you in jail for a little bit longer than what we've been doing. We need to crack down on it. We need to make it to where you don't want to do it again. That's the whole idea of jail, is to become a deterrent and say you don't want to go back there. Okay? But that doesn't seem to be the problem. That doesn't seem to be the case. And, you know, our prisons are supposed to be these immaculate places where you're incarcerated, but you have all the amenities of life. You got TV, you don't want to treat your prisoners bad. You got to feed them great, this, that, and the other, exercise time. You don't want to work them. You don't want to get out and do this and do that. I mean, come on, people. We've got to wake up on how we handle some of this stuff, and we have to reestablish what it is. And I don't want anybody to say that it's racist to want to put people away because 80% of the people incarcerated are black. Well, quit doing the damn crimes. If you're doing the crimes, you go to jail. Don't do the crimes. And we have elected judges, white and black, Republican and Democrat, all over the state. And they are entrusted in putting you in jail. Now, the other problem is two lawyers and this, that, and the other, when they all get together, they always work in deals because they don't want to go through the process of getting it all done. They said, Chip, you don't understand. Let's put it this way. 2 lawyers and a judge is basically 3 lawyers in a room, and 3 lawyers in a room decide what they're going to do. They decide what they're going to do. And they're going to say, what makes this go away? That's all they do. What makes this go away? We got to do better than what makes this go away. We got to do better than that. Let's take a break here on the Chip Matthews Show and come back on the other side and talk bad about people that didn't show up to help and this, that, and the other on the radio. But I'm here. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Remember, coming up at 10 o'clock, the one, the only, the great one, Jameson Haygood. And the good fight? Then, of course, at 4 p.m., Radio Strongman, Kim Wade. And then at noon, Sean and Lindsay crossing the aisle. We'll all be here, right here on your station that does live music. No, live words. Now, Clay's the only one that sings right here on WYAB. Right here on WYAB.
103.9 WYAB. Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
Rapid Oil Change has been the fast service leader in oil changes for over 40 years. With parts to fit most makes and models in stock, it's easy to see why we are Central Mississippi's leader in fast service. We feature brands like Castrol, Mobile One, Rain-X, Lucas, and Full Throttle. We do more than just change oil with services like wiper blades, new tires, tire repair, cabin filters, air filters, and much, much more. Open 6 days a week and ready to serve. Stop by one of our 6 fast-friendly locations today. We accept most national fleets, and local fleets are welcome.
This copy machine has me so frustrated. I could just body slam it. Oh!
Whoa there, leave the body slamming to the pros. And leave superior high-quality office tech to the experts at Advantage Business Systems, brother.
Woo! Get it!
Never body slam your copy machine again. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, laying the smackdown on bad tech.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink specials, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality cars, trucks, and SUVs. Price to fit your budget. At Pops Auto, we specialize in trucks. From four-wheel drives to diesels, our satisfied repeat buyers know Pops has one of the largest truck inventories for any independent dealer, period. Browse Pops inventory at popsautosalesllc.com and get pre-approved for a zero down payment with approved credit. With warranties and service contracts available. Pops Auto Sales, your home for trucks. Highway 49 South in Florence.
The weather is heating up and the deals are even hotter at Mazda of Jackson. Right now at Mazda of Jackson, you can drive home your dream Mazda with low financing rates available. 2.9% for 72 months on most models, or finance 36 months and pay just 0.9%. That's right, 0.9%. Experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. It's time to choose Mazda. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
Are you hosting an event? Let Burgers Blues Barbecue handle the food while you enjoy the moment. From an important lunch to a dreamy wedding, B3 Catering is sure to please everyone. Find Burgers Blues Barbecue online and click the catering tab or just give us a call. And when you're dining out, visit Burgers Blues Barbecue in Flowood, Brandon, or Madison for incredible plates served fresh daily. Burgers Blues Barbecue and B3 Catering, a delicious combination.
When you feel like your business is drowning in paperwork and compliance issues, it's time to call PeopleLease. Let PeopleLease take care of the busy work so that you can save valuable time and focus on what really matters, growing your business. PeopleLease is based in Ridgeland, so you're always dealing with local professionals who will actually understand your business and its needs. Join thousands of satisfied clients who trust PeopleLease to simplify their employee administration. Visit PeopleLease.com. That's PeopleLease.com to learn more.
Oh, yeah.
The Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on a Monday morning here on WYAB, 9:25 in the morning. If you got to get somewhere, get there. And good morning, Suzanne Renfro. And then I see Anita Ford's back with us for this second hour here on WYAB. And look, if you don't like what's going on in the town you live in and you don't vote, then shut up. That's what we're going to say today. I mean, if you don't get out and vote, nothing's going to improve. Nothing improves unless you go to vote. So when you keep electing people, let's talk about Jackson. Okay, Horn's been in office for 32 years, right? Okay. If you feel like he has done something good for the city, then you should be a part of it. But you got to tell me what he did. Somebody call me and tell me what the man has done. And then if nobody's getting anything done, then you've got to get somebody else in office. It's just that simple. You got a lot of people running the government by trial and error, which is not a way to run government. And it's like, for instance, I saw last night, I was looking and watching TV, and I saw where the on WLBT had a logo up for Jackson Water bringing you the weather. And I was going, now, hold on. If you can't buy water anywhere else, why is Jackson Water spending money on a TV ad or a TV thing? We don't, I know that people say you got to feel good about it. You can't feel good about water if you don't ever have it. And that's Jackson Water paying for an ad, that's as bad as our state government when they pay for ads. I mean, come on. I mean, we need, I think there are some things that the government needs to spend money on in advertising and getting things done. But there's other things just to tell me that they're wonderful and they're great. And, unless it's coming out of their pocket, it's I don't need a politician telling me what's going on. I don't need one of them to wish me Merry Christmas, happy birthday on my nickel. Quit spending my money. I mean, I'm so tired of politicians that just spend, and it doesn't go for anything we need. And then they turn around and say, we got to raise taxes and this, that, and the other. Then they didn't even do a budget this past year. And they're talking about, let's grab this newspaper here. Let's see. What does this say right here? What does this say right here? Legislature adjourned 25 session without funding local projects. This is in the North Side Sun. Okay. And they're talking about projects that weren't funded. And going back to do the budget, unless they get into talking about individual things, those projects still won't be funded. That's the way that goes. You got to fund what you're supposed to do. So they're going to go back in and broad stroke a deal to get in and get out. They said it'll be one day, $100,000 for one day. What's going to cost us? $100,000 for one day. Well, I'm okay with paying the $100,000 for one day if you'll give back the 90 days you were in session that you didn't do anything. No, you didn't. You didn't do anything the people need. You didn't do the ballot initiative. You didn't do term limits. You didn't do the budget. The budget was the important thing. You didn't pass any legislation of importance, really. You got a little bill here, you got a little bill there, but you didn't do any real work. You didn't, y'all had all the lobbyists taking you out. You had the pharmacies taking you out. You had the, who else you have? You had pharmacy. You had sports betting people taking you out. Some of them you even went to the Super Bowl on gaming dollars money. I mean, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Plus, you took our money. You took our money. The way I think we need to do it in the future, if a lobbyist wants to do something, you can invite all of us from Mississippi to come do it. We want to all go. You got to wine and dine us all. Everybody in the state should be able to go. We should all go down. If you want to wine and dine somebody, do us. Better yet, just do the 20% of Mississippi that just votes. That'll make it cheaper for you. That's more than fair. The 20% of people that vote to put these people in office. But, that guy, the guy that's sitting in that chair that goes on the whining and dining and this, that, and the other to learn what's going on. I once rode a guy around who was explaining to the doctor, and this was during a session a few years back. And this guy was explaining to him the kickback money on a hip replacement. And I was driving Uber This guy, and you people, you get in these cars with these Uber drivers and you don't understand. There are people out there studying to see. I wanted to know how the system worked. I want to know how they made money. But when they get in the car, I picked up a whole group of people from CHAR. So they're out with some lobbyist that's paying for them, and he's talking about a hip replacement. Says, well, you'll charge $7,000 or $10,000 or $14,000 for the hip replacement, and then we'll have money that we'll kick back to this association, this is the rebate back to the doctor, and this, that, and the other. And you're going, well, actually, a hip replacement can be done for half of what it is, but the rest of the money is graft to make sure that it's that hip replacement. And that person is going to do it, and the legislature is going to pass these bills to give you these tax credits on it. You hear these things, and you're in the car, and I would just be surprised because they just think that everybody's an idiot that's driving Uber or DoorDash or all that. Yeah, that's some real money out there. I made $70,000 riding around listening to people be stupid. Yeah. And did it in my spare time. Still did all the other stuff I do, whatever that is. I really don't do anything. Y'all know that. I don't do that. But anyway, let's take another break. We'll be right back on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB. Right back on the Chip Matthews Show here.
103.9 WYAB.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now that's so reliable, you'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go round, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one. Get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one. Really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom'sFriedPies.com.
CBS News Brief. The Kremlin's announced a ceasefire in Ukraine next week while Russia celebrates its victory over Nazi Germany. The BBC's Steve Rosenberg.
In a statement, the Kremlin said it was motivated by humanitarian considerations and that all military actions would cease for 72 hours. Russia, it said, expected Ukraine to follow suit.
Trump administration said it would abandon peace talks if there was no movement this week. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt says President Trump will sign an executive order targeting sanctuary cities that don't cooperate with immigration crackdowns.
He has restored the rule of law, enforced our immigration laws, and defended America's sovereignty.
The Coast Guard says it's identified a boat that hit a ferry in Clearwater, Florida, killing one person before leaving the scene. This woman was on the ferry.
We just did our best to try to stay calm for the kids and the other families around us. And my husband actually went and helped other people that were on the boat with open wounds.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Your pie in Gluckstadt is adding to the family. No, not like that. It's the new Pizza Shop sandwiches, like the Italian featuring pepperoni, ham, bacon, black olives, feta, mozzarella, red onion, and that secret ingredient,
oregano. You mix in something called oregano. Oh, oregano.
Some tasty chicken creations, too, like the chicken bacon ranch served with house-made jalapeno ranch. And as always, express your inner pizza, too. Your Pie Gluckstadt, across from Germantown High School.
Eating at a seafood buffet is a classic Southern tradition, but finding one with fresh, delicious food is hard to do. Well, I found a seafood buffet where everything tastes good. It's Four Corners Steak and Seafood, but it's not just fresh catches from the sea. Come in for perfectly cooked ribeyes, sirloins, and chops from the grill. Make it a routine to stop in before or after the big game. Open for dinner Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays at 4:30. That's Four Corners Steak and Seafood, right off Highway 25 on the way to Starkville. Let's go.
Would you like a free ice cream? Head on over to Bumpers Drive-In on Highway 49 in Flora. If you're craving a juicy made-to-order burger and crispy golden fries, if you want to taste the best hand-breaded chicken tenders you've ever had, If you want a hand-mixed milkshake or a whirl with Nutter Butters, Oreos, then bump on into Bumpers Drive-In in Flora. Exclusively at the Flora location. Mention you heard them on WYAB and you'll receive a free frosty ice cream with your order.
At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you, boiling down features and benefits to create our New You, Achieve You, Benefit You, and Protect You checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, Bank of You. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Well, everybody goes, Chip, what do you think about when you decide what you're going to talk about on the radio? When I don't know what I want to talk about next, I cut on Facebook and I get excited. Hold on, let's go to the phone. Let's see what's going on here. Good morning. You're on the air on WYAB. Hello?
Yes, Chip, I have a curveball for you this morning.
Okay.
Has any law ever been proposed to get rid of the reservoir?
To get
King
rid of
Bison over there.
To get rid of the reservoir?
Now, I don't live around it, but they are building all kind of buildings and spending a lot of money. A friend of mine owns property over behind Northwest Rankin. He still has to pay reservoir leasing fees.
Well, if you're on the Pearl River Valley Water Authority property, when you bought that, you know you got it. You know what I mean? That's the deal there.
Way away from it.
But they also, what they need to do is just become their own city, because you have no say in what they do, really. You know, they're governed by a board, and you have to pay you have to pay your property taxes, so you pay that fee to be on the property. So you're absolutely right. I mean, see, where my restaurant is across the street, we're not on Pearl River Valley, but we're in the county. And we're
really?
Yes, where Acme Pizza is in the county. At the top of the hill, you're at the county. Yeah. At the street, you're in Pearl River Valley Water Authority property.
Okay. I know a couple of years ago they had proposed a law to disband it and then let each county take over, but that was hushed up real quick.
Well, that's because they're making too much money. You know, that reservoir, off those taxes for years, paid for the reservoir far. I mean, it was like decades ahead of when it was supposed to be all paid for. And it would be great if they would give those areas back to cities and counties. But they currently are the authority. But see, that's something that we could do if we had a ballot initiative, but we don't have a way to talk to anybody. We don't have a voice. They've taken that away from us. You can't complain to the state about anything that you like, except at the ballot box every 4 years. There's no recall. There's no nothing. And then they don't care what we do anyway. They don't.
Right. Well, that's true. Well, I do know the lieutenant governor, and I've met him before. He's a nice person, but I don't like how he governs. But I do know he shut up a lot of changes in the Senate. Just let some die in committee and didn't even let them out for a vote.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Thanks for calling.
So let's hope that he didn't get in. All right.
Okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, those are real issues there. So that's it. Imagine that. But and I wasn't going to get on the reservoir. See, that's just how this stuff goes. I was going to say that I just seen this on Mississippi Today, this communist organization. But anyway, Derek Simmons is upset that today is Confederate Memorial Day recognition in Mississippi, and that is awful. Now, it's okay to have Transgender Day, and it's okay to have Black History Month, but we can't have Confederate Memorial Day? Now, do you understand that each group of people, it isn't like the South is trying to rise again and cause another war. But, and if we did, we'd be going together. We're black and white now, we're all together. We all live in the same cities. So if we got mad at Washington, we'd be going mad. I mean, right now, if you had a movement like that, and we decided that we wanted to take on California and get rid of it, that's what, we would be agitators. We'd be called something. I don't know if we'd be called Confederates, but the reality is, Confederate Memorial Day for people that are Southern, in my opinion, they like being Southern. They like being from the South. They like being from something, and that's sort of the same issue with the flag, the old flag. I never looked at it as racist, and I don't look at as being from the. I think Confederate just means you're from the South. That's it. It doesn't mean anything else to me. I didn't, we've overcome everything that happened to us in the South. You don't have the racism that you see like in Indiana or, oh, heck, even in California. You don't have that here. It's not that bad. And what goes on here is we try to get along because that's all we got. I mean, if you open up a business in Mississippi and you can't be one way or the other, you've got to have all the money you can. And you're going to take money from the black community and the white community. Black-owned businesses, which a lot of people push, and the mayor of Canton always pushed that. So it ran off all the white businesses that were owned by whites to have a city that were black-owned businesses, but nobody black wanted to open one there. Although the town is 70% black or 80% black, these are issues that are non-issues, and certain agitators turn them into something else. I mean, Confederate Memorial Day, yes, is Memorial Day. That's it. And it originally started the whole Memorial Day thing when before there was a United States Memorial Day. These ladies used to go out and put flags on the grave of the Confederate soldiers. And that's because that's what they wanted. Let's see what I'm getting into. Here's the phone. Let's see. Somebody's ringing me. Good morning. You're on WYAB.
Well, good. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I asked you earlier about this thing going on in Washington State. How long do you think it's going to take for other states to start acknowledging Muslim religion holidays?
I don't know.
See, you talk about, and that's what spurred me to call, was we're talking about Confederate Memorial Holiday. Well, okay, and you made a good point. We have a gay month and a gay pride month and a Black History Month. What's wrong with having one day set aside to remember where we came from? We're not talking about we're still wanting slavery.
Right.
It's a day to remember history. That's it.
It's just, and they don't, and in the Department of Education in Mississippi is trying to do away with U.S. history. That's not going to be a test anymore in order to graduate. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
So,
well, I guess what the United States needs to do is saying you get two paid holidays off a year if you work for the state or the federal government, and you call it whatever the crap you want to call it, and just do away with all of it.
Well, the other side of that is we could just do away with all of history. Take our history books and throw them in the garbage, because that's what they want to do. Tear down all the monuments and forget about history and start fresh tomorrow. No, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Well, that was my 2 cents.
Yeah, well, that's a good 2 cents. And you're finally out of the bed? That's Timothy Jenkins, by the way, y'all. He just woke up, got out of bed.
Yeah, but I was listening to you at 6 this morning.
Oh, yeah. You're whispering sweet nothings in your ear over the radio. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Talk to you.
Let's talk to you later. Yeah, he's out cutting down trees. But not at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's dark. You can't drop them at 6. Let's see who's on the here on the thing. Let's see. W. Bragansky is My taxes on my house on the reservoir are half of the county taxes. I pay about $1,700 for each side of my duplex to the county, and I pay right at $500 to the reservoir. And we get absolutely nothing for it as far as I'm concerned. Well, you know, that's exactly it. Unfortunately, when you buy it, you know where you're at. But the other side of that is, and you now have no fight back. You as a county resident, you could vote for and go after the people in the in office. But you know, on the other, you're stuck with them. Good morning, WYB.
Hello, hey. Am I
Hey.
on the radio?
Yeah, you're on the
Let me
radio.
cut the radio off. Let me cut the radio off, okay?
Okay.
Hey, I do a program in one of the programs around here in this metro area,
Yeah.
the More Day program.
Yeah.
And I have the Daughters of America Revolution come on and tell the history of Memorial Day.
Right.
It started in Columbus, Mississippi, that big cemetery up there. I can't remember the name of it. Nice cemetery, they supposedly.
Yeah.
And it started with the Daughters of the Confederates in the Battle of Shiloh. They carried all the soldiers down there, and that day when they did that, they decorated the Union soldiers and the Confederate soldiers.
Yeah, they did all.
And then Lincoln or whoever, I forgot when it started. I can't tell you because I can't remember all that. But it gets started somewhere in New Jersey too. They take credit for it. It started there, and then somebody made it a national holiday. I forgot who it was. And that's the history of Memorial Day. It started in Columbus, Mississippi, after the Battle of Shiloh in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And everything.
And they honored both sides.
They honored both sides.
Yeah.
And somewhere north they did it, but it's a conflict of who did it first. Who cares? But
It probably was around Arlington, I would think. But anyway.
Whatever. I can't really tell you that. And it's been going on for years. And then one of the presidents, I forget who it was, made it a national holiday.
Exactly.
And you got to look because maybe one of the ladies that does that can call in and tell you all about it.
Yes.
And everything.
I'll find somebody and put them on the air. My mama was a part of that, but she ain't gonna be on the air.
Well, she would know it because they know the history.
She's no longer with us. So.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I do the Rankin County one, and they come every year and put on a program for us.
There you go.
Everything.
Well, I'm gonna try to get in touch with them and get on to that because I need to know.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You know, the Confederacy is a part of our history. You know, slavery is a part of our history. It doesn't go on now. It's not a part of what goes on now. Good morning, Beth. She's got an and she's saying that do I say a lot? She goes, hello, Chip, and everyone pray, heart. I don't know what that green one is. And But anyway, what are we going to do about it? What do we do about fixing the world? I mean, Trump is doing everything he can to fix the world. And we here in Mississippi, with no ballot initiative, and y'all understand what the ballot initiative is. It's your right to put something in the laws, something in the Constitution. And I think the way that should go, and that they should pass this bill that says that if it's something that is not offend other people or is not regulated by the state, let's say regulated, because, for instance, in the situation with pot, that was regulated by the state. That's something that you had to get a health department agency, and you need to get taxes involved in it. That is not eligible for a ballot initiative. Also not eligible for a ballot initiative would be something to do with any financial gain back and forth, like Medicaid expansion or anything. They're always saying that was why they didn't want to bring the ballot initiative back, because everybody will go work on that Medicaid expansion and put it in the Constitution. No, that's money again. You can't trust money. But now, when the people voted to put the flag, keep the old Mississippi flag in the Constitution, and it passed, and if the threshold If you need to change the threshold of putting it in the Constitution, it's 75% of the people must vote for it. That would be fine. But when they voted for the flag and put it in according to the law into the Constitution, those lazy people down there in Jackson who did not pass the budget this year said, these people are crazy. They don't know what they want. Let's change the flag. We'll just come up with these two. These are your two options. See, that's what I'm talking about. People deciding what you got people who feel like they're elected because 20% of the people vote and 80% of the people don't. So they feel like they're elected and they have the privilege of changing what the people want. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But that's elections for you. And I'm involved in one in Canton right now. I hope that you vote for me. I know I'm talking on a touchy subject today, but that's that. Also, Mayor Truly made a lot of racial overtones in a speech on the Facebook that everybody has seen, and didn't like me endorsing a candidate. Well, I'll just tell you what. I endorsed a candidate and he won on the Democratic side, and he and I are running against each other, and either one of us will be fighting each other, and somebody will win. And that's that. I'm gonna come with my game. He's gonna come with his A game, and it's gonna be great. But Truly won't be in office. But Truly, if you're out there listening, or anybody that knows Truly is out there listening, I invite you to come on this show with me this week, this election cycle, and explain all the great things you've done for Canton. Come give it all to us, because I would love to know that since you've been in Canton since 1972, what you have done for Canton other than tear it apart. Let's take a break right here on WYAB, and I'll be back to finish up on the other side. Finish up.
1039 WYAB.
Hey, this is Ben Ingram from the Braves Radio Network. We're in commercial right now, so I want to let my sister take over and tell you about Hometown Property Group.
Thanks, Ben. This is Mary Claire Putman with Hometown Property Group. Whether you're buying or selling, we are committed to guiding you through your real estate transaction with integrity, exceptional service, and remarkable results. Madison County has been my home for 40 years. I'd love to help make it yours, too.
That's Hometown Property Group. Give them a call at 601-853-6080.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins for Home Care Plus Medical in Ridgeland, announcing our Mother and Father's Day sale beginning April 2nd. All Pride lift chairs will be $300 to $500 off suggested retail pricing as our Atlanta Braves fan special. So come in, mention you're looking for the Braves special, and we will help you select the best lift chair for you or your loved one. That's right, the Pride lift chair, $300 to $500 off MSRP. Many other items are on special pricing right now as well. So come see us at Home Care Plus Medical in Ridgeland.
For years now, the filet mignon of chicken, the top 3% of chicken, the tenderloin with pure perfection in every bite has been served at Huey Magoo's. At Huey Magoo's, chicken is the centerpiece of every mouth-watering plate. Fried or grilled, try them in meals or sandwiches, salads, and wraps. And Huey Magoo's has the best sauces: sweet heat, buffalo, garlic parmesan, and lemon pepper. You really will taste the difference with Huey Magoo's chicken tenders. Huey Magoo's, Bass Pro Drive in Pearl or Lakeland Drive in Flowood. Huey Magoo's, make someone smile today.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Cork and Door Company has been providing quality residential garage and commercial overhead door products to Mississippians for over 50 years. Cork and Door is the supplier of garage door parts and services such as LiftMaster, commercial and residential door operators, as well as Clopay, sectional commercial and residential doors, Asta, commercial sheet and rolling steel doors, and Cornell, rolling steel and shutters, with many in stock for the same-day pickup. CorkandDoor.com. That's CorkandDoor.com.
How would you like a new eyeglass frame for just $50? Bruce has an inventory conundrum and he needs your help. This will be to your benefit. You can get some sweet pricing on Frontline frames that are simply out of warranty. These are men's, ladies, and kids' frames, and they can be yours for just $50 from now till the end of April. These are great for spare pairs and sunglasses, too. Come get yours while they last at Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at eyegearoptical.com.
Malone is a company in motion, striving daily to improve the way the roofing industry operates and is perceived. A leader in commercial and residential roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. Malone means the highest quality materials delivered with expertise workmanship from a claim or construction. At Malone, you found your roofing and metal walls partner. Malone has proven for generations there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you. More info at ecmalone.com.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB. And where I left this last was I said I'd invite the mayor of Canton Truly to come on the air with me and tell me what he's done. Now, of course, he's not going to be the mayor, nor are any of his associates that he had running are going to be the mayor of Canton in this election. So Canton is going to have a change, and it's going to be a good change. You know, I'm more of a smaller government type of guy, and I would like to work on keeping the town clean and a zero tolerance on crime. That's my platform. And then, of course, I'm going to get all the businesses back open in Canton. We'll find those businesses, and we will get them there, and we'll have an entertainment district, and we will move forward. And that's my campaign. Okay. And also, while I'm inviting people on the air, Benny Thompson, remember, you're always allowed on the air with me. I can't wait to have you in. Also, Chotway, I might just upstage you and let you come on the air for one day and tell me what all you did for Jackson while you were in charge and what your future plans are. Your future plans, other than what we believe is going to happen to you, are your future plans to run against Benny, or your future plans to be a cellmate with Benny? Wouldn't that be great? But anyway, that's going to do it for me, Chip Matthews. Jameson Haygood Show is next with the Good Fight. Then coming up at noon, it's Sean and Lindsay. And then coming up at 4 p.m., the one, the only, the Radio Strongman, Kim Wade, the future mayor of Jackson. So we enjoyed it today. We had a good day. Didn't think we had anything to talk about. I guess I can talk to a wall all day and excite myself. But anyway, happy Confederate Memorial Day today. The other Memorial Day is coming up in a few weeks, and the big, beautiful bill before that. We'll be talking some Trump politics tomorrow. But for now, it's the Jameson Haygood Show is next. I'm Chip Matthews, and I'm out of here. See you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.